All right, what's our boy up to? Oh, for Charlie. All right. What's our boy up to? There was a video that somebody... Where is it? Oh, here we go. He looks like physically getting worse. This is weird. He's like aging really quick. It might be this filter that's making him look weird. Oh, you can't hear him? Okay, sorry. It doesn't matter. That was just the coming up section.
Update. People has this. Sydney Sweeney.
All right, we'll just pretend like this is the new... All right. Let's see what our boy's up to.
Here's an unfortunate, though predictable update. People has this. Sydney Sweeney is addressing her highly publicized American Eagle denim ad in an emotional interview with People. Came under fire, of course, for this ad. We know about that. Sweeney tells People, I was honestly surprised by the...
Is he sick? He looks like he's like kind of dying. He's like slower. His face is like puffy.
Reaction. I did it because I love the jeans and love the brand. I don't support the views some people chose to connect to the campaign. Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true. Sweeney tells People she's someone who leads with kindness and that she's addressing the campaign backlash to clarify her stance and dispel negativity.
This says leftist tears on it. AKA come.
Anyone who knows me knows that I always try to bring people together. I'm against hate and divisiveness. In the past, my stance has been to never respond to negative or positive press, but recently I've come to realize that my silence regarding this issue has only widened the divide, not closed it. So I hope this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of what divides us. So there it is. That's the backtrack. That's the walk back. That's the apology. Maybe not
Yeah, I mean, probably by your agency or something.
the full apology. That's like the lead up to the apology. That's the almost apology, the prologue to the apology. And it's a hint that, so this coming year, I'm going to bring people together. So that means she's going to do a whole bunch of woke nonsense over the next year. That's her plan.
Okay.
And so Sydney Sweeney is not the based right-winger that many right-wingers had hoped that she would be.
It was kind of weird seeing people parade her around like she was ending wokeness or something. Like, that was kind of weird. When she started an ad. Like, she started an ad. And then what was the... Okay, yeah, I never actually looked at this, but I saw, like, on Twitter or somewhere, like, Sydney Sweeney interview jeans ad. Like, what was the thing where, like, someone... Okay, here we go. So I don't know if I saw the jeans ad, and she was like, jeans are good. Here's a pun. I'm white. And that was it. And it was just like, okay, well, who cares? And then something happened in one of these ads where, like, someone asked something.
Squirms while trying to paint the actress as a racist.
The criticism of the content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like, white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
James, what a way to shut down a...
So it's kind of funny, yeah. So everybody kind of interpreted that as like, oh, based Sydney Sweeney. She's racist like us or something.
Were you surprised by the reaction?
The reaction definitely was a surprise, but...
Where's the original interview? Holy shit. I just want to see... Nobody cares about primary sources but me. All right. But that's how you get to the bottom of something. Is just by going to the source of things instead of just believing it through other people.
But your 13-year-old girl...
And editorialized versions or whatever, right? Thank you, Bad Gamer.
Quem é importante is.
Yeah, let's check this out.
Like, what is fighting?
Great boot,
I usually show up in my PJs. For whatever reason, I was like, you know what?
Piss jockey?
I'm gonna just actually get dressed.
Ah.
And then everyone liked the outfit. I was like, wow, this is the first time.
I'm so flattered. Okay, so we're good? Okay, whoa, we're going.
We're going.
Okay. I feel really lucky to be talking to you right now in particular because you're a producer with a film with festival buzz. Congratulations.
We had
Okay.
Christy's story to the world.
As you punch people.
Christy was a flop.
Finally, full contact.
Nobody
I
watched it.
started kickboxing and grappling side of myself out.
Physical transformation for a character like Christy.
Realizing
Phobia and domestic violence and The Housemaid, which I also, if I look at your IMDb, which like brought a lot of attention and humanity to the story of Reality Winner, the whistleblower, art, not commentary.
I've always believed that I'm not here to tell people what to think.
All right,
topics
let's hear
without-
about this.
I'm thinking about, you know, you're on Euphoria, which is a show that covers a lot of topics without, you know, taking a moral stance on any of them. And you did Reality, which I love, which like brought a lot of attention and humanity to the story of Reality Winner, the whistleblower. It does not look like a very political career, but
No.
you have become very swept up in politics. And so
Yeah, my impression is that she tried to be like apolitical
I wondered if that had
and probably didn't realize what she was getting into with the fucking jeans ad.
surprised you as you put your ideas and yourself into art, not commentary.
Because like those jeans, they had like the same ad in a different year with a different person, and like nobody freaked out, right? Am I incorrect in that? Like they've done the same thing before.
I've always believed that I'm not here to tell people what to think. I'm just here to kind of open their eyes to different ideas. And
There's a lot of artists, a lot of like directors, a lot of actors that just don't want anything to do with politics because they understand that it's like just bad for their brand and like just divisive and shit. And also there's a lot of Americans, you know, artists or otherwise, that are like, they think that talking about politics is like something you shouldn't do. Like it should be a secret thing for some reason. Yeah. It's a very American belief.
so I think that's why I gravitate towards characters and stories that are complicated and are maybe morally questionable, and characters that are on.
I'm concerned for you lately.
Thank you.
We're sort of talking around this American Eagle ad right now, and maybe we should just talk about it. So, were you surprised by the reaction?
I did a Gene ad.
Exactly. She doesn't. She's not trying to be political.
I mean, the reaction definitely was a surprise, but it was. I love jeans. All I wear are jeans. I'm literally in jeans and a t-shirt like every day of my life.
Jeans are uncontroversial. Jeans are awesome.
Yeah,
You look,
I like your
You
jeans.
look great in your jeans. I think I know how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask anyway. I mean, the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or Truth Socialed about the jeans
She doesn't want to say anything about the president or politics. Like you can tell how uncomfortable she is, right?
ad, and
Like, look, you can see it. You can you can see her like face slowly go from smile to like trying to hold the smile. Look at the corners of her mouth, trying to hold the smile, but not actually smiling. Where she's like, you can tell she's being upset. Look at the corners of her lips. She doesn't want to be answering this question. The fact she's like, oh fuck, I have to answer a fucking political question.
the president tweeted about the jeans ad, or
She doesn't want to talk about the president.
Truth Socialed about the jeans ad, and that just seems to me like a very crazy moment for anyone, and I wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal. And
You can tell she hates doing this. Oh my god. She's given like fuck you eyes right now. Please stop asking me about the president.
wondered what that was like.
It was surreal.
It was surreal.
Yeah. I'm not saying anything it was surreal. It's like Mark Carney when talking to Donald Trump. He's like, "You're a very transformative president. You are certainly doing things."
And it would be totally human. I would probably feel like thankful that somebody.
You don't want to like. There's people. There's a lot of people in entertainment that just don't want to do that. They just don't want to be talking political questions. Like, it would be fine if Sydney Sweeney just responded like, "I'm sorry, I don't talk about political things." Like, that's fine.
Had my back in public, and conveniently, some very powerful people had my back in public, and I wondered if you felt that way.
I don't think that. It's not that feeling didn't. I didn't have that feeling, but I wasn't thinking of it like that, or like of any of it. I kind of just put my phone away. I was filming every day. I'm filming Euphoria, so I'm working like 16-hour days, and I don't really bring my phone on set. So I work and then I go home and I go to sleep. So I didn't really.
She actually good. She was good in Suspiria Guadagnino remake.
I don't really see a lot of it.
You've made a really good case for keeping your thoughts and your life separate from that work.
She's usually not good.
But the risk is that, there's a chance that somebody will get some idea about what you think about certain issues and feel like, I don't want to see Christy because of that. Like, do you worry about that?
El Pucci, sure, correct. Americans are stupid. Americans think that like fascism is just like an opinion and not like a concern. They're like, oh no, to each their own sort of thing. Like, that's how fucking brainwashed politics in America is. Yeah, people have different opinions. Like, when people don't want to be political in America, like, they don't realize that the reason why there's so many of them is because they've been lulled into a fucking trance of comfort, and they don't understand that whether or not they want to be political, politics will come for them. That was Dakota Johnson. Well, then, I confused bad actors. Well, yeah, has Sydney Sweeney ever been anything good then? Wait, was Sydney Sweeney not? I only saw the movie once or twice a while ago. That was Dakota. Yeah, I did confuse it with Dakota Johnson. Yeah, maybe Sydney Sweeney's never been anything good. I looked this up.
No. If somebody.
Oh, they were both Madam Webbs. You're right.
If somebody is closed off because of something they read online.
I mean, she was good in Euphoria from the casting.
A powerful story like Christy. Then I hope that.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, she was good in.
I hope something else can open their eyes to being open to art and being open to learning. And I'm not going to be affected by that.
Yeah. You've come here like really willing to talk about this whole discourse that doesn't have that much to do with you, and I'm grateful for that. Is there something that you want to say about the ad itself? The Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Do you have...
The ad spoke for itself.
You think the ad spoke for itself? Yeah. Okay. And the criticism of the...
Here's what's happening. She signed a contract. With American Eagle, right? Was that the gene company? She signed a contract with them to appear in their ad. Parts of those contracts, when you're being a spokesperson for a company, is you can't say anything negative about them. And they probably fucking called her with the whole like, hey, we're getting heat for being white supremacist coded. Maybe they didn't realize, and that's fine. But they probably called her and said like, yeah, that would include implying that the ad itself was white supremacist. So when she's when she's forced to answer questions related to the ad about white supremacy, she likely doesn't even want to she doesn't want to say that the ad has anything to do with white supremacy, sort of thing. Right? in any direction even.
Content, which was basically that maybe specifically in this political climate, like white people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
We should talk about Cassie. You got back together with Cassie.
That was it.
Joke about genetic superiority.
They didn't even say white supremacy.
Like that was kind of like the criticism.
Genetic superior, like, given the current political climate, we shouldn't joke about genetic superiority, is what she's saying.
Broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
Yeah, like, why do you want me to talk about, like, genetic superiority things happening in America? Like, I don't think she thinks she's well equipped to have this conversation. Some people just, like, don't think about politics because they're privileged and they live in a weird bubble, and it's, you know, you can't expect them to have an opinion even.
We should talk about Cassie. You got back together with Cassie. You spent some time in Cassie land.
I am. Storylines and characters.
That doesn't really seem to be part of the story anymore. And I wonder if you feel like Hollywood is changing.
Her dad is MAGA. She is aware of politics. I mean, a lot of people's dads are MAGA in the fucking States. That doesn't mean you're politically aware.
Or if it has to do with being in actor producer roles.
She's literally MAGA?
I think that the conversation around it is changing. I've always looked at a woman's body as a very beautiful, powerful tool. I transform my body for Christy. It's a challenge, but then also really amazing at the same time that we're capable of doing.
In the driver's seat as a producer. I mean, I'm thinking about The Housemaid. Like,
It's not a push-up for anybody else.
Wife comes in and like comments on control of the.
Okay, well, this was comments turned off. All right.
What changed? Well, nothing changed. To be totally clear, you know, nothing has changed. People want to be accepted by their peers. Not excusing it at all, but that's what this is. Especially people in Hollywood, people in entertainment, they want to be adored and accepted and flattered by the people they respect, which are their fellow Hollywood elitists. You know, Sydney Sweeney
I think he is sick. He's like sniffling.
want to be admired or praised by people like
Look at his eyes. He looks like he got bit by a bee.
Like you or me. She doesn't want our approval. Our approval just made it worse for her, actually. That's the last thing she wants. So, you know, she could stick to her guns and earn the adulation of right-wing Neanderthals like me, or she could back down and break her silence and say the words they want her to say and all that, and earn the praise of her fellow Hollywood degenerates, and she chose the latter, as they always do. I mean, as they always do. This is how it always ends. With these...
It's probably because she doesn't care too much. It's probably because she doesn't care that much.
And I'm kind of mad at myself because this was my instinct. Every time there's a celebrity who comes out and says something or does something vaguely conservative, and conservatives desperately like cling on to this person, clinging on to
Star
their
Trek
legs,
reference.
you know, just on the floor saying, praising them because we have someone in Hollywood who's indicated that maybe they don't completely hate us. And every time that happens, I've always been, as is my custom, the negative Nancy. I've always been the guy who says, yeah, this person's not really on our side. Just wait. They're going to, you wait and see. And that's always been my take. This was the one time where I sort of tried to be optimistic about it. This is the one time where I didn't do that. I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be that guy this time. Everyone is fawning over Sydney Sweeney. I'm not going to fawn over her, but I'll let them have their fun. I'm not going to be the guy who comes in and says, hey, by the way, she's definitely a leftist. Okay, she's going to break your heart. All right, she's going to turn around and apologize.
You made a video, but like this is you're saying nothing in 7 minutes. You're just, what have you even said?
It's going to happen, I'm telling you. And I didn't say that this time. This is the one time I didn't say it. This is the lesson I learned. The one time I decided to be somewhat optimistic, to not be totally negative all the time. The one time I decided. And she makes a fool of me too. So even though I never really bought it, I never bought the act, but you know. And that's it. And, you know, the thing that was probably definitive for her is when she had that now iconic interview.
She's a registered Republican. Let's look it up. Yeah, well, if let's say this is correct, and it's not like a different Sydney Sweeney. I don't know how many Sydney B. Sweeneys live in Florida. Or if this one even lives in Florida. Let's say that this is correct. I don't know how much I care. Like, America's filled with idiots. Like, if you write off every single person for just being like brainwashed, then you have like 2 people left in the entire country. Because I think that the way to get to people, if you want to have them on your side, is not by like angrily being like, shame this person for being a registered Republican, when like they probably haven't put much thought into it. They're probably just doing it because culturally that's what you do, and that's what your friends do, and that's what your parents do. Like, that's why most people do it. Like, it's a cultural thing. Like, a lot of people don't understand politics, like their own politics even, well enough, but they just do things, you know? Like, if she cared about politics enough, then she would be saying things political. Like, she would be saying political things. You know? She would be doing that.
With GQ.
She'd be using her platform to say political things.
And she gave her answer. The fact that, yeah, she's getting a lot of flack from the people that she actually likes. But the fact that she was praised so much by people on the right, that is probably what scared her the most. And then she went out and she had this movie that came out, and I forget the name of it, but it was a flop. And then I'm guessing that she went and hired a new publicist, and that publicist came in and said, well, the reason why I flopped is because everyone was upset about the American Eagle ad, which is not true at all, by the way. It had nothing to do with it.
Well, Republicans should have went and watched the movie if you didn't want anyone to think that. I thought y'all were like, yes, we finally have her, and then you didn't even watch her movie.
And so she gets this publicist, and then she puts out this very
finally we have a Republican MAGA mommy with mommy milkers, and then you didn't even watch the movie.
publicist-like statement about breaking the silence and all that kind of stuff. And that's it. And that's the way it always goes. And that's why, you know,
I'm expecting Euphoria season 3 to be like bad.
The only Hollywood
I'll watch it.
actors and celebrities
When's it out?
who ever fully become quote unquote right wing and just embrace it, and they start doing the Fox News hits and all that kind of stuff, the only ones who ever do that are the ones who've already washed out of Hollywood. Right? There might be a few exceptions, but almost always, the Hollywood celebrities who become fully out of the closet right wingers are the ones who their career's over anyway, kind of fell apart.
Yeah, I agree, Jiggly. But like, most people in America are like, their politics is just what people tell them. Like, people are lazy when it comes to finding out information, and they don't really care too much about like truths. The majority of people I talked to in the States when I was living there, like in the South, and all along, even like in my road trip all the way back, I would ask people about like the upcoming election. It was in October when I was doing this. I was asking people about the upcoming election between Kamala and Trump. Most people said, I don't care. Most people said, yeah, doesn't really matter. Like, it won't have any impact on anything. And that's just how people feel.
They washed out, they're past their prime. And then they figure, well, you know, I've already lost the praise of my peers.
And then I talked to a guy who was a Trump supporter, and we had a nice conversation, because I'm able to have nice conversations with people that disagree with me. But he was saying like, well, yeah, because groceries are expensive sort of thing. And I wasn't about to like epically own him or debunking him. I'm more interested in just learning about people and learning and hearing what they have to say and finding it interesting. You know, so I'm the type of person when I'm having like a conversation like that with somebody that clearly is just politically not up my alley. I tend to ask questions more than I tend to tell them things. And I'll ask questions in ways where hopefully it'll get them to some answers that I'm hoping they get to. But, you know, I try not to be... There's only so much you can do. Like, I'm not about to change anyone's mind when they're that far gone, you know?
Because I'm not relevant anymore. And so I might as well go on Fox News and at least get praise that way. And so that's what they end up doing. But when you've got a celebrity who is still like in her prime, she's still on red carpets and still a big celebrity, those types are just not... There's yet to be one who's actually come out and said, hey, I'm a conservative and I'm proud of it. It just doesn't happen. Hey, YouTube,
Isn't like Chris Pratt one? All right. What did
Not
she
close.
actually say in this press release? Like,
came under
what's...
fire, find motives and labels to me that just aren't true.
All right, here. I just want to hear this part again now.
Sweeney tells people, I was honestly surprised by the reaction. I did it because I love the jeans and love the brand. I don't support
I did it because I love jeans.
the views some people chose to connect to the campaign.
I don't support the views some people chose to connect to the campaign.
Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true.
Many have assigned motives and labels to me that just aren't true.
Sweeney tells people she's someone who leads with kindness and that she's addressing the campaign backlash to clarify her stance and dispel negativity. Anyone
Leads with kindness, dispel negativity. Nowhere in here is there any like conservatives are bad.
who knows me knows that I always try to bring people together. I'm against hate and divisiveness.
I'm against hate and divisiveness.
In the past, my stance has been to never respond to negative or positive press, but recently I've come to realize
Yeah, never respond.
that my silence regarding this issue has only widened the divide, not closed it. So I hope this new year brings more focus on what connects us instead of what divides us. So there it is. That's the back.
She didn't even like disavow the ad or the jokes or like she didn't. This is such a non-story, especially like what Matt Walsh is having like a little baby cry about this. Like, she was supposed to be the one. Yeah, her statement didn't sound like an apology. She just said she was surprised people freaked out over a jeans ad. Big deal. That's exactly what happened. Like she didn't even really walk. Yeah, she was like, what the hell is this? All right, well, that was stupid. What the hell was that?
Before I read the Patreon credits, I'm going to ask that you like, comment, and subscribe to help us in the algorithm. Anyway, it's January 2026, and here are my $5 and up patrons. Dizzy Sauce Rumsfeld and Letterboxd, Jordan A, Toby White, Blank, Anchor Wolf, Ark Helix, Clarice Carlson, Seabreeze, D the Rabbit, Electrica So Bad at Games that he used a broken control stick to beat Sans Undertale, Emil, Gabriel Herrera, Gezro, Happy the Knife, Lemonade Warriors participating in the hit game Among Us and is considered the Encroacher, Lobsterite, Modern Nerd, Nurik Bin, Oh Here She Comes, Osmond, Residual Cheese, Roxy's Inside Your Walls. You can lure her out with information on when the second season of the TED TV series is releasing. Saliv88, Skanot On, Tammy, The Flying Marlin, The Super One Player, T-King, www.openclassactions.com, Yep, and Zachary Kane. Thank you as usual, and have a happy new year.